Welcome to the official press conference for Who's Number 1 22, Nick Rodriguez versus Victor Hugo. We're here in Costa Mesa, California, and it's all going down tomorrow, February 9th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We have 10 total matches on this card. 4 of them are going to be free on the FloGrappling YouTube channel. The other 6 you got to pay for. They're on FloGrappling.com. But we got 2 title belts on the line, 1 main event you won't want to miss, and a bunch of other matches that you'll want to tune in for. But here at the press conference, we have our first match of the evening. We got Kyle Chambers going up against Dorian. I'll start with you, Kyle. Kyle, last time you were on Who's Number 1, you had an extremely long match. You know, what's different this time now that you just have a normal time match?
I feel like the strategy is a little bit different too, more healthy this match too, so I can go more for the attack right away. It's the 10 minutes, 15-minute match, you know, so it's just putting on the pace the whole time. That's the game plan versus more, no time limit, got to be more strategic, make sure your attacks are just really there versus not trying to force things and wasting energy, you know, but now it's just putting it all on the table and see how it lands.
So even though you've been on Who's Number 1, it was a no time limit match. Do you think still that helped you with the experience of at least being under the Who's Number 1 lights?
Absolutely, man. The pressure, the demographic, just having the pressure is a little bit different on this platform. So I just feel like just being a part of it at least one time definitely benefits you for the second time coming through.
So Dory, you've obviously competed on a lot of events, but this is your Who's Number 1 debut. How's it feel to be on Who's Number 1?
Man, I'm super excited to be here. I've been just trying to compete as much as possible, a lot on the IBJJF circuit, just trying to get my name out there, compete, and get as good as possible, you know. So I'm super blessed to be here. I want to try to get on more super fights and, you know, prepare for one match and bring the show, bring the energy. I'm not trying to go for 2 hours, I'll tell you that. So let's get in, get out, put on a show for everybody, push the pace, and come out with the win.
So you're both based here in California, but I would consider you like as pretty much as local as it gets. You know, you train and live in Long Beach. Do you think there's going to be a big crowd here for you?
Yeah, I grew up in Garden Grove, 15 minutes from here, so I could have took the bus here if I wanted to. So, man, I got probably 20, 30, maybe even more people coming tomorrow. So we're going to bring the energy, and, man, I'm going to bring the energy in front of everybody. So.
Kyle, what can the fans expect from you tomorrow when you take the mat?
Just get that finish, man. You know, you always expect that, you know, freak style, that inverted, of course, you know, but I'm always just trying to look for the combos, off balances, and going for my style, my finishes. You know, I don't want to go win by decision. I don't want to win by points. I just want to go for that finish.
Dory, same question for you. What can the fans expect?
Let's get that finish. Let's go.
All right, we got a guaranteed finish one way or another here.
One way only. One way only.
One way only. All right, this will kick off the card. It's going to be Dory versus Kyle. Up next, we're going to have Ashley Funegra and Marilyn Cruz. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the official press conference for Who's Number 1 22. Up now we have Ashley Funegra and Marilyn Cruz. So both of you are making your Who's Number 1 debut. Your twin sister Mia has been on before. How does it feel to get to be the one competing on Who's Number 1 this time?
So since for me as Who's Number 1 in November, it was really cool because I got to like help her prepare. So I got to help her train. I was like pushing her throughout the whole camp. So now it's cool because the rules are reversed. So I'm really excited to be able to show you guys like my style compared to hers, and I'm excited to put on a show for you guys tomorrow.
Did she give you any advice? Did she have any, you know, since she has a little more experience now, did she tell you any wise words?
Just helping me train, just like pushing me through the whole thing, and like helping me work on like my attacks and my submissions. And she's been there throughout for the whole camp, like by my side. And I'm excited to have her by my side tomorrow too, coaching me.
All right, Marilyn, what do you think about making your Who's Number 1 debut?
I'm super excited to be here. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I was pretty shocked when I got the word to get on Who's Number 1, but I was immediately in it. I'm super excited to be here amongst everybody who's been training so hard and is current and big names in the scene. I'm just really shocked, but still really excited.
So Ashley and her sisters, they're kind of like these teenage, rising star prodigies. What do you think about taking on an opponent like her?
Oh, there's no doubt that they're really good, really high level. I see them winning. Rarely do I see them lose. So it's a big challenge, but I'm always ready to take on a challenge. I've competed against her sister before in the ADCC Costa Mesa last year, but that was a year ago, and I think I built myself up from there, and hopefully I can show a little more of my style.
Ashley, what do you think about Marilyn as an opponent?
Well, obviously, like every match is different, and my sister, like she said, fought her in the ADCC Open. So I'm really excited to kind of like show my style in the in the match, and I'm really excited to put on the show.
What's your expectation for the match tomorrow?
So obviously, I'm gonna be always attacking, always chasing the submission the entire time. So I'm gonna try and finish off with the win tomorrow, and we're gonna see.
Marilyn, same question for you. What's your expectation for the match?
I can't really expect one thing because I know she's really well-rounded, but I'm expecting to chase the submission as well and hopefully end with a really good finish that I like.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. Up next, we're going to have Max Hansen and Daniel Sattler.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, welcome back to the official press conference for Who's Number One 22. Up now, we have our third match of the evening, a welterweight bout where we'll see Daniel Sattler and Max Hansen, a couple guys who I feel like it's been a long time coming for you guys to make your Who's Number One debut. So I'll start with you, Max. What does it mean for you to be on Who's Number One? What was it like whenever you got the call from Ricardo and he asked you if you wanted to compete?
Well, I was pretty active last year, and I won a lot of the minor sub-only tournaments. My coach kind of described them as you're doing college football, finishers, Midwest finishers, Zapatero, Soki. I won all those titles, so I felt like it's graduating from college football and going to the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I guess I also overlooked you were on Who's Next also,
yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, I did do Who's Number One already, but you know what I'm
My
saying?
bad.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good.
How do you what's the difference, I guess, in a competition like Zapatero, finishers only, and now moving up to Who's Number One? Does it make it feel different for you? Is there any preparation you have that's different?
The preparation is pretty similar, except there's no EBI, right? I would say the biggest difference is just being able to handle the nerves. When you're going into a garage venue or just some gym to fight, and there's 20 people in the stands watching, it's really not too difficult. But when you're having a bunch of people watching probably the biggest promotion in the sport, and there's a bunch of people in the stands, maybe some big names and stuff, those nerves can get to you. So the biggest difference is your ability to handle those nerves.
All right, Daniel, what does it mean to you to be making your Who's Number One debut?
Yeah, I feel great, man. I had a great training camp. I really watched Who's Number One before, and what calls a lot of my attention is the rule set. Always looking for a submission. That's what makes it exciting.
How do you think those rules are going to impact your match with Max?
For those who don't know, we actually had a match against each other at Worlds first round, and I'm really excited because it's a different rule set, like you said. Submission. It was 2 points for me actually, but right now I feel like this match is gonna end up in a submission for sure.
Max, what do you think about the rules and then also specifically the match with Daniel?
So just from the amount of different tournaments I did, I feel like every rule set you kind of have to approach differently. you're fighting almost completely different in an IBJJF rule set as compared to an EBI rule set. And even an EBI rule set, I mean, after 5 minutes of fighting, you're almost not going to for a submission anymore. You kind of like just make a gentleman's agreement, like, all right, we're both tired. Let's do some overtime now. So now this one is just like a pure sub only, where I feel like we can flow from position to position. I can go from top to bottom, bottom to top, and not really worry about anything like receiving negative points. So just like Daniel said, I think this fight is going to end in a submission just due to the fact that we're more free to move from position to position.
And then I want to ask you about Dante, because obviously you train with Dante and everything. How do you think his match against Pato is going to go?
I mean, I met a lot of guys in jiu-jitsu, a lot of high-level guys. Dante is by far the most disciplined athlete I've ever met. He kind of leaves no stone unturned with preparations for athletes. I feel like he's very, very well prepared for Pato, and I don't think Pato's going to have any surprises for him. So I see this going very well in Dante's favor. Obviously, I'm biased, but I see the guy train every day, man, and I would be very shocked to see like Diego just throw something out there that we haven't seen yet. You know.
So Daniel, you mentioned that you see this being a submission. How do you see this match playing out, though?
Sorry, the match
With you and Max.
me and Max. Yeah, like I said, we fought before, but now it's a different rule set. And yeah, man, I'm speaking for me, and I'm going for the sub. You know, either top, from bottom, control the match, and give what the fans want.
Max, same question for you. How do you see this match playing out?
I see us just spazzing out for 9 minutes until one of us wins. Let's do it.
All right, there you have it. An absolute spaz fest in this one. Can't wait for it. Up next, we're going to talk to Elijah Dorsey and Ivan Herrera. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel. All right, welcome back to the official press conference for Who's Number One 22, going down February 9th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. This is our featured match of the prelims. So all the prelims are free on the FloGrappling YouTube channel, and this will be the one kind of ending things, hopefully on a high note. But we have Elijah Dorsey, Ivan Herrera. I'll start with you, Elijah. You've had some big wins recently. You won East Coast Trials, you went and won the European Championship in the gi, and now you're here competing on Who's Number One. So I guess overall, what was your reaction whenever you got called by Ricardo about getting this match, and like, what do you think about being on Who's Number One?
Well, I always believe that I'm prepared for any event that comes up. Obviously, when I got the invite, I was in the midst of training for the Europeans, so I was doing all gi training throughout that point. Ever since really No Gi Worlds, where I had a performance that I didn't really like, but you know, that was just one day out of my whole career. So, yeah, prepared for Euros, and then now preparing for the Who's Number One. I feel great going into this fight, and I'm excited to put on a show.
Ivan, kind of same question for you. What did it mean to you whenever you got the call to compete here on Who's Number One?
Yeah, it's a real experience. I got off work. Barrett messaged me, "You want to take this fight?" And first thing I said was the trials winner. Yeah, of course. Like, let's go. And just excited to be here. And again, this is surreal.
How do you think you match up against a guy like Elijah?
I think it's a good matchup. Physically, we're both athletes. He's got good endurance. You know, I put on a pace whenever I fight. So, you know, I have MMA background, wrestling background, so looking for war.
Same question for you, Elijah. How do you think you match up with Ivan?
Yeah, from what I've seen from Ivan, he definitely puts on a good pace, and that definitely fits for Who's Number One, for all the fans that are watching. And we're like a perfect match for each other, and I believe that one person that's really exciting against another person that's exciting, got to be exciting. So we'll see how this match goes, and The word exciting is getting thrown out a lot. I'm trying to think of a different word to use, but it's okay. I can't think of any words that mean the same thing. Yeah, fireworks. Yeah, fireworks. Everybody likes fireworks, right?
There you go.
No worries. That's good math. Exciting plus exciting equals exciting. So I'm excited for that, no doubt. But I want to ask you, since you've won trials, I feel like winning trials, obviously ADCC is so huge now. Everybody's watching. Everyone wants to be at the World Championship. But have you felt it kind of put a target on your back at all? Have you felt like people now kind of want matches with you? They want to get a win over you as a trials winner?
I don't really feel that. I mean, I don't see it. So if people are winning matches with me, then I mean that's cool. I don't mind. I'm down for a nice little scrap, But ultimately, the goal is for the ADCC world title, IBJJF world title, all the major titles that lead up to that, and to get my resume nice and fancy. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, Ivan, I'll ask you, what would it mean to you to come to Who's Number One and get a win on the Who's Number One stage?
Be amazing, especially over the trials winner. Great question you just asked him because I have a lot to gain here. He's got a lot to lose, but ultimately I'm here to put on a show, and I think it's going to be, an explosion of athleticism for sure.
What do you think the fans can expect from you, Elijah?
Expect to be engaged the whole fight. I don't want to put on any performance that's going to have you yawning. So expect to be engaged the whole fight and be on the edge of your seat, armpit sweating, hand sweating, everything. So I know mine are. So yours are too.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to this one. I think it's going to be very exciting. I can't wait for all the excitement. And up next, we're going to have our first match of the main card, Jacob Couch versus Sebastian Rodriguez. Yeah. Hell yeah. I just decided to double down on exciting for you. All right, up now we have our first match of the main card. This is going to be kicking things off, so hopefully some fireworks to kick off the main card. So go subscribe now to FloGrappling.com. You're not going to want to miss this one. But we have Jacob Couch and Sebastian Rodriguez.
Yes, sir.
That's right. So we'll start with you, Couch. Couch, you're obviously very experienced on the Who's Number One stage, but how's it feel to be back for another one?
Stoked, man. Stoked. Glad to kick off the year with Who's Number One. It's probably one of my favorite promotions in the game. I think I have, 15 or, I have a lot of matches on Who's Number One, so it's definitely one of my favorite places to compete.
And so, Sebastian, this will be your second match on Who's Number One. Your last match was a close back and forth with Oliver Taza that ended in a decision that didn't really go your way, but now you're back taking on Couch. How's that feel?
Feels great, man. I'm ready to fight, happy to be part of the party, and yeah, let's just get it started.
What's kind of your expectation for this match?
I expect for me to push up the pace. I wouldn't have taken the match if I don't expect to win, so I'm just ready there to go out there, impose my game, and, get the win.
Couch, so I feel like you're a pretty established guy. Obviously, a lot of people know of you because you compete on Who's Number One a lot, of course, but now you're a trials winner. So same kind of question that I asked Elijah. Do you feel like that makes things different? Do you feel like people look at you differently or want matches with you to kind of knock you off as a trials winner?
To be honest with you, man, I don't really worry about it too much. It's not for me to concern myself with. I take it one match at a time, just like I did at the trials, just like I'll do probably for the rest of my career. So I just look at who's in front of me and focus on that and not really worry about if there's a target on my back. My head's too big to turn around and see it anyway, so I wouldn't be able to really factor that in as much as I'd like to,
So the guy who's going to be across from you tomorrow, Sebastian, very scrappy guy, always puts on exciting matches. What do you think about Sebastian as an opponent, and how do you see that match playing out?
Well, I think anyone who can win the black belt worlds in the pans, at the black belt level is a very, a very worthy or very, very good opponent. Anybody who can reach that level and, obtain those titles are going to bring it, So I expect nothing less but everything Sebastian has, and I guarantee it'll be a show for the fans.
Sebastian, what do you think about Couch as an opponent?
He has that hillbilly hammer power, but I have that Thor hammer energy, So I'm going there, push up the pace, put some show for the fans, and just a war.
How do you think this match ends up?
Hopefully for the fans, a submission, right? That's what here everybody comes to see, right? That's what people expect. So hopefully a submission, yeah.
Couch, what do you think the fans can expect?
I think Sebastian's pretty on par there. I think we're both going to be trying to finish each other, and definitely there'll be no stall calls at all during our match. I can guarantee the fans that.
Yes, bring it on, baby.
All right, let's go. All action from Jacob Couch and Sebastian Rodriguez, hopefully. Up next, we're going to talk to Tynan Dalpra and Oliver Taza. All right, welcome back to the official press conference for WNO 22. Now we got Tubby Alikin and Adele Fornerino. So this match was originally supposed to be Tubby versus Fionn for the 125 Women's Championship, but Fionn had to pull out, and now Adele stepped in. So I want to start with you, though, Tubby. I guess, what did that change whenever you heard Fionn was out, and were you hoping there was going to be an opponent? Were you hoping someone would step in, and then what did it mean for you when you found out Adele was going to step in?
Oh, I took matters into my own hands. I reached out to Adele.
Really?
I was like, hey, girl. I was like, so I know you're like one of the potential matchups. I'm like, I know it's last minute, but I was like, can you do me this favor? I was like, are you going to accept this match? I need to know right now. She told me that she said she accepted it and it was in the works and stuff. So I was like, cool, that's all I need. She was a doll about it. Like, she responded back. She was super sweet. She understood where I was coming from the last 6-7 weeks, training super hard for an opponent and then training for a phantom opponent for about a week, not knowing if I was going to get a match. So the fact that she accepted shows a lot of character, and I respect her a lot for it.
Adele, what made you want to step in late for this one?
Oh man, I want to take every opportunity I got. I feel like me and Ricardo have been back and forth trying to make everything work, trying to make the stars align, and they just hadn't yet. We've been trying to organize some good matches. Specifically, we've been trying to organize some 115 matches because it's a quiet division at the moment, so we're trying to amp that up. But when you say 125, I say, yeah, let's do it. And, Tubby's an excellent opponent. She's been on the scene for a long time. And to step in for someone like Fionn, I think that I come in as the underdog, so I got nothing to lose and everything to gain in this one.
So you had a really big 2023. I think that was kind of like a breakout year for you. But what does it mean to you to start 2024 on Who's Number One, and especially against an opponent like Tubby?
Well, I feel like for me, like, it's the start. Like, I'm constantly trying to build momentum. It's a perfect way to start my year. Everything's kind of just about building that momentum and building that consistency. I feel like I built it a lot in the end of last year. I stayed as consistent as I could, gi and no gi. So it's about building the same kind of momentum this year. And, again, like, Tubby's an excellent opponent to jump in with. I think that she's got an excellent game. It fits really well. The Who's Number One rule set fits really well with me. Like, I'm a dangerous competitor. I'm a dangerous grappler. I'm submission-orientated, so a submission-oriented game is right up my alley.
So Tubby, you were preparing for Fionn, and Fionn's obviously a submission-oriented opponent, but so is Adele, and you are as well. You actually have one of the fastest submissions in WNO history and a lot of scrappy matches. Did your preparation change at all whenever you found out it was going to be Adele instead of Fionn?
No, just because I kind of took into consideration, like coming up, doing tournaments and stuff, you never know who you're going to go against. You know, you go up against 3-4 opponents in one day, sometimes 5 or 6. You never know. So it's like truly just being well-rounded, well-prepared. So nothing really changed other than fixing little details, like obviously doing my homework in that last like 8 days, week and a half. And there's just making sure that I'm covering all my P's and Q's. So I feel well-prepared no matter who it is.
How do you see this match ending up?
My boy, you know the answer to that. I'm always going for the submission, you know, pushing the pace, chain attacks. Like, I mean, if you're not going for the finish, what are you doing on the show? You get what I'm saying? So even though it's a submission only, you want to go for the finish as fast as possible. As much as you want to put on a show, you want to get the finish just as fast. So you should just expect fireworks, pushing the pace, chain attacks, and looking for a finish, getting that finish.
Adele, how do you see it ending up?
Yo, like this rule set's made for me. This is my game. This is my kind of rule set. Like it finishes one way, and I'm a dangerous competitor. Like submission is my game, so I feel pretty confident about finishing this.
All right, that kind of got me amped up for this one. I think this one's going to be exciting. I'm looking to see some sort of finish here. But up next, we're going to talk to Dante Leon or Tynan Dalpra and Oliver Taza. All right, welcome back to the official press conference for Who's Number One 22. Now we have Tynan Dalpra and Oliver Taza. We got a guy who's taking his second WNO match against a WNO veteran, a very well-known no-gi competitor. So I'm going to start with you, Tynan. How does it feel to be back on Who's Number One? You have a submission win in your first bout, but this is your second Who's Number One match, but also I think your second no-gi match, right? You have more. So how's it feel to have another no-gi match?
It feels exciting. Whenever I started talking about the no-gi to FloGrappling, I gave them my word that I was going to be consistent and active back-to-back, and that's what I've done. I've done my no-gi debut in the black belt last year and the end of the last year, and now making my second fight, and hopefully to continue staying active and staying consistent under this organization.
So, Taza, you're one of the most active competitors, I would say. You compete on all kinds of events, whether it be trials, opens, WNO, everything. But what made you want to take this match with Tynan?
We were supposed to have a match, I think, years back. Maybe 1 or 2 years. So I'm happy to be taking on Tynan now when he's coming up. Obviously the first match went pretty well for him. The opponent he went up against was, he was pretty dangerous. If you blink against him, you're going to get caught. But I feel like I'll present to him a different pull. You know what I mean? I can get out of the same. I can spoil the party. A lot of people in leading up to the match saying that I present more of a submission threat. He presents more of a positional threat. It could be true, but I think we have threats in both ways. Positional and submission oriented. So it can go either way. You know what I mean? I feel like I could also dominate positionally. You know what I mean? I can also put a pace. I can also get him tired. You know what I mean? He wins most of the time. See him do very well, but there's also footage of him out there facing adversity, where matches don't go his way. So that's something I studied pretty well and looking to replicate.
Tynan, kind of same question for you. How do you think you match up against Taza? And do you think this is just going to be another display of kind of your excellence now taking over the no-gi scene?
I think every time that I step on the mats, I'm always looking to showcase a new set of skills that I've acquired during my preparation, and this will not be different. I do see the pattern for Taza on the leg entanglement and leg attacks. It's something that he's specialized on it, but it's definitely something that I've took seriously during my preparation, and not only trying to be aware of those, but making sure that I'm well-rounded and I'm able to dominate in every scenario that the match could go on. So I'm very confident that if the match ends up on the feet, bottom, or top, that I prepare myself to the best, and I'm able to display the new set of skills that I've acquired in the preparation for this match.
Was leg lock defense like a very specific part of your preparation for Taza? He's a leg lock specialist. I know you kind of mentioned a little bit, but you do have some leg lock specialists in the gym with you, like Pato, Kolabate, Super Sound there. So was that something you focused on?
I think for everyone, especially when you're coming from the gi background, joining the no-gi, it's something to be aware of. It's something that you need to be constantly seeking knowledge from that position. But at the same time, I do believe at the end of the day, the jiu-jitsu and the pin position like he was talking about, and just the domination during the match, it speaks louder than sometimes just the leg entanglement. So I will be happy to display some of that in case the match goes that way. But I'm looking forward to just to feel comfortable and make sure that I dominate in every situation that we're in.
Taza, how do you see this match ending up? What can the fans expect from you and Tynan?
The same as always. You know, every time my name pops up on the card, everybody's excited. Everybody knows that it's going to be action-packed. We're going to push the pace. You know, I talk to my opponents after, and they all insist on the fact that it's a high pace, it's a fun match. Most of my opponents enjoy competing against me because it's fun. You know, we make sure there's a lot of movement, and we keep it entertaining for everyone. You know, we're both martial artists. We both had our setbacks. We both, improved from them. And tomorrow will be the best version of both of us. So it'll be a fun one.
Tynan, what do you think? What can the fans expect from this match with you and Taza?
I think definitely on my part, trying to every time I go in there, there's always an excitement coming from me on seeing what the preparation has done to my game and what have I acquired in the skill set. So I'm looking forward to display that every time I step in there, and this time will be no different. I think the last time people were excited to see what my no-gi game looked like. I didn't have much time to show that during the match, but I hope that this time I have enough time to make sure that I'm able to display myself in all the scenarios that we can possibly be in, and trying to finish the match before the 15-minute mark. That's my goal every time I step in there, and looking forward to staying active and continue to push on the pace every time.
All right, there you have it. Tynan Dalpra versus Oliver Taza going down tomorrow. Up next, we're going to talk to Dante Leon and Diego Pato. All right, up now we have our first title match of the evening. This one's for the lightweight WNO championship belt. We have Dante Leon, the current lightweight champion, going up against Diego Pato, the current featherweight champion. I'll start with you, Dante. How's it feel to be back and defending the 155 belt?
Feels great. I pretty sure that nobody who's won the belt in the past has come back to defend it. I think maybe it's happened one other time, so feels good. Feels good to come back and solidify myself as the champion of the division and get another opportunity to go against somebody who's super high level in this new division.
How do you feel about taking on the featherweight champ Pato?
It's cool. He said he wanted to step up and have this match late last year. Through some opponents, some dropouts, some mix-ups, things like that, we finally both agreed to it. He said he wanted to do it. I said I was down for it last year, so it was cool that it landed early this year. So yeah, I mean he's a high-level guy. He's active. He is extremely good. So it's a good matchup in my eyes.
Pato, what made you want to bounce up to 155 and take on Dante for the belt?
I think because on my first super fight on Who's Number One already was for the title shot, so I didn't see myself fighting for like defend on that time, so that's why I want to pop up and like go against him. So he was the current like champion, so that's why I call Ricardo and he say, hey, you know what, I'm down. If you're free, if you like it, if you can do it, I'm down. So yeah, that's why.
I think if you win this, you would become the first ever double champ in Who's Number One history. How would that feel?
I feel good. I feel good. That's why like I want to move on and then like go for the title shot and then be the first guy win like 2 belts. It's gonna sound good. Like see like the double champion.
Dante, how do you think you match up against Pato?
I think I'm a really good matchup for me against him. I think I pose a lot of issues to him. I think he has his own issues. I think he has his own, bag of tricks that's a little bit different from anybody I've gone against especially at 155 and also at 170. He's really short. Nobody's really shorter than I am, so that's going to be something to adjust to. He's flexible, he's tough, he's strong. So, yeah, he's going to have his own little bag of tricks, but I think I'm a really good matchup.
Are we going to keep seeing you at 155, or are you going to go back up to 170?
I'm going to go back to 170.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? How come?
Because ADCC is at 170, and if I have to make weight or it's a day before weigh-in or I have to make weight all 3 days, I don't want to be fucking cutting weight to get down to 155, even though I'm really good at it. And you can tell I'm not sucked down. I'm not, like, slurring my words or anything, but it's kind of counterproductive to go down 20 pounds to come back up 20 pounds. So this might be my last one for a little while, and then we'll look at doing something at 170.
Do you have any matches or anything in mind at 170 if you bump back up?
I don't want to look ahead of any other matches because there's a tough kid sitting beside you, I know people want to probably see me talk some shit or call somebody else out, but, I'm always down to talk shit, but I'm not down to really call anybody else out right now. I'm not kind of want to focus on this match I got, but definitely, 170 would be something I want to do. I am not going down to 145, so he can keep that belt, but 170 would be something I'm definitely open to.
Pato, how do you think you match up against Dante stylistically?
I think I see myself like always like attacking, and then like you say, my opponents I faced before was like a level up on top of them, but I saw a couple matches of him. He tapped like on the legs as well, so that's why I'm looking for. Always going for submissions, and then I think it's gonna be good if you care about his title where you are, and then he orders up. Of course, he's ordered about this fight, so I mess up like I think a little bit on this division, and then I'm gonna mess up a little bit, and then go back to my 155, 135. So yeah.
What do you think the fans can expect from you tomorrow?
Yeah, like I say, a good performance for sure. I'm not gonna promise anything, but like on the end of the day, you guys gonna look to myself like as a good athlete. So it's not about I'm here not because like I'm talking shit or whatever. So I'm here because of my jiu-jitsu or what I like a performance on the mat during the match. So that's why you guys gonna see me like here a lot. So. And I can't promise anything tomorrow, so but a good show for sure.
Dante, what can the fans expect from you?
I see this being a very aggressive match. I see it being aggressive from both sides. I see this being a match that's going to challenge us a little bit more, make us do some things that you typically haven't seen us do. You know, I think I can put him in positions to make him respond a little bit differently, get some different responses out of him. I think he can probably do the same thing to me. So I think it's a unique match. It's not a match you're gonna see him get at 145 or me get at 155 unless we meet. You know what I mean? So that's what I think's interesting about it. That's what I think is intriguing, enticing about the match. And the style for me, the mindset for me entering a match like this is about the same as always. It's very aggressive. It's looking for the finish. It's looking for the win. It's not looking for a win by, you know, like dragging my ass through to the decision. I'm going to try and win decisively, win by submission.
There we go. Definitely a very intriguing matchup. This one's going down tomorrow, February 9th. Up next, we'll talk to Mica Galvão and Kenta Iwamoto. Thank you, guys. Official press conference for Who's Number 1, 22, Nick Rodriguez versus Victor Hugo. Up now, we have our welterweight championship match. We got Mica Galvão, the current welterweight Who's Number 1 champion, going up against Kenta Iwamoto. I'll start with you, Mica. So, Mica, you're obviously, you've been active this year already. You just won the European Championship in the gi, and now you're back to no gi competing on Who's Number 1. So, is that kind of the plan this year? Are we going to see you gi and no gi?
So I can't say that it was kind of the plan. I was mostly focusing on no-gi for at least the initial part of the year. But, you know, plans change all the time. I think that the life of the competitor is like this. You always got to be ready for the call, and that's what's happened. My sponsor called me up and asked if I could participate in the Europeans. I felt ready. I had like a week of training, and then I got back to the gi, and it worked. So I just got back here to Who's Number 1. I already had planned Who's Number 1 against Kenta. But, yeah, that's how it works.
Are you excited to defend your Who's Number 1 belt?
Very much. I think that every single time that I have an opportunity to showcase my jiu-jitsu, it's, you know, kind of like a canvas. It's like just a blank canvas in there, and then you just come and paint, do your best to, you know, do your art. I think that's how I feel like it about jiu-jitsu. And Kenta's just like a very talented, a very strong opponent, and a very good opportunity for me to showcase my jiu-jitsu in the biggest stage, like Who's Number 1.
Yeah, so Kenta, how does it feel for you to be competing on Who's Number 1, not just on Who's Number 1, but competing for the belt?
Yeah, I think this belt, I watched the previous, like the tournament, and I feel like a lot of people is fighting for this belt. And like the chance just came in front of me, so I just took it. Yeah.
How I know you told me like before we got here that you got the call, you know, you're like, all right, I'm taking on Mica, and then you went to B team, started training for it and everything. How was your preparation at B team?
Yeah, so when I got the call, I was because it's New Year's in Japan, most people are just chilling. So I was just chilling, and then I saw like, oh, Mica, I gotta fight. But yeah, it's my job, so I take it. And even though I had only 1 month to prepare, I packed my stuff, straight went to B team to prepare for this, and I feel like I'm ready.
How do you think you match up against Mica?
Stylistically, I have a very different game than Mica, but I don't know how that would turn out in the match. I feel like I probably never felt what like Mika's, how I know he's very good, but that's never what I've never felt before. So during a match, I think I have to adjust a little bit, but I know that in the end, I'm very confident that I can surpass him.
Okay, Mica, what do you think about this matchup with Kenta?
I think that the whole match started like right at the weigh-ins. I kind of wanted to give him the Manaus greeting where, you know, we get the cool friendship like jiu-jitsu. We get the cool friendship, we go there and share some acai, and then later on we have those 15 minutes where it's porrada, but, you know, without losing the friendship. And that's my idea here. We came here to have some fun. We came here to, you know, entertain the public. I think that when you see two athletes, as many of the people here on Who's Number One try to say, you know, just try to go for the win is like very, very, very boring. So I think my objective here is like do just Manaus style, go in there, do 15 minutes of porrada. If eventually I have the opportunity, I'm going for the submission. That's my motto. I try always to go and finish the match before the time any. And I know that Kenta is like a very, you know, tough opponent. I've been studying here for a long time. I saw that he's like 3-time ADC trials champion. He fought against, for example, JT Torres and just lost by decision. So like you can tell by the level. And I'm pretty sure that the public will have a very good jiu-jitsu showcase in there. You know, I think that I want to look for the submission. He's going to be looking for the submission. And I'm pretty sure that if it doesn't go by the 15 minutes, it's just going to be like each guy trying to kill each other.
Kenta, what would it mean to you to go home with a win over Mica and the WNO belt?
Yeah, if I do like get the belt, like that's one of my greatest accomplishments in my life. So that will be great. It's not gonna be easy, but I'm gonna try my best. I'll fight till the death, and I hope to show what I've been working on. I've only been thinking of this match that's happening tomorrow for like the past month, and I'm very, very excited to like shock people that are watching.
Nice. Mica, same question for you. What would it mean to get a win and take the belt back home to Sao Paulo?
I think it just means the same way every single time. The competition for me is not the mini. I think that the public is the real reason why I'm always like doing and looking for this. As I said, I come from Brazil. I come from Manaus. My whole idea, my whole life was surrounding of the idea of, you know, overcoming your hardships, overcoming your challenges, and proving that everybody's capable of. I'm nothing special. I think that I come from a very regular family. I come from a regular place, and I'm just here, to do my best, bring the belt home, make those kids happy there in the project, and keep the action going. I think that we have a lot of stuff going on for 2024, and starting off with the Who's Number One bout, it's going to be a great start, just like the Europeans.
All right, there you have it. Mica Galvão going up against Kenta Iwamoto for the welterweight WNO belt. Up next, we're going to have the main event of the evening, Nick Rodriguez versus Victor Hugo. All right, welcome back to the official press conference for Who's Number One 22, going down February 9th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Now we got the guys in our main event up here. We have Nicky Rod and Victor Hugo. I'll start with you, Nicky Rod. You're back on Who's Number One. How's it feel to be back and also fighting in the main event?
Yeah, it feels good. I'm excited to go out there, have some fun, display what I've been working on, and, win in a dominant fashion.
What kind of stuff you been working on?
Just some jiu-jitsu.
All right, sick. I can't wait to see how that's been going. All right, Victor, you're also returned to Who's Number One. It's been a while, right?
Yeah, been a while, probably 4 years. Last time I was here was also the main event, and it was a good day for me. It was at the same location where the tournament will be, so yeah, everything's looking good so far. And I also fought against Nicholas back then, so.
That one was in the gi, right?
Yeah, that was on the gi, probably one of the few Who's Number One matches in the gi. Yeah, it was a great night for me, and I'm just happy to be here. leading up, being the main card of such a big event. We have all the stars of the sport here. I think majority of it, and I think one of the ways for me to show how grateful I am for the opportunity is just putting on a show.
All right, so Nicky Rod, what do you think about your match with Victor Hugo? How do you think you match up?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I have a very offensive style. I look to go out there and just attack and come again. And when I come hard. You could say for me this match will be a great release.
All right.
La ele.
All right, so well spoken there by Nicky Rod. Victor, what do you think about this matchup with Nicky Rod?
Well, I look forward to pop his cherry. He just got his black belt. So, his first black belt match, and that's what I'm here for,
I'm tight. You better be ready.
All right, definitely an intense vibe up here with these guys. This could go any way, for sure. But, Nick, I'll ask you, what would it mean to you to come here in the main event and get a win?
It would. I'm just looking forward to going out there, have some fun. I train consistently. This is a lifestyle that I love, I enjoy, and I look forward to going out there and displaying my best version of myself.
Yeah, so I've watched your videos and everything, obviously on the BTM YouTube channel. Check that out if you haven't. But you talk a lot about, 2019, you just went out there, you were athletic, you were just explosive, and you won that way. But now it's like, jiu-jitsu, technique. How different is the Nicky Rod we're going to see tomorrow versus the Nicky Rod we saw a year ago here in Costa Mesa?
Yeah, Nicky Rod nowadays just, they call him the Slayer. They call him the Natty King. It's quite different. Before, our previous matches, I just didn't know anything. I'm competing against black belt world champ Victor Hugo, which is a mountain to climb, right? But again, I only know how I just learned a knee cut. I just learned, my viral cartwheel pass. And against a very weathered black belt like Victor, that stuff doesn't work. So nowadays, fast forward about 5 years into my jiu-jitsu career, I've got some other techniques, some other tricks up my sleeve, and I'm looking to display those techniques very soon.
Victor, what do you think about Nicky Rod potentially having some new tricks up his sleeve, the Slayer over there, if you will? How do you think this match is going to go with him?
Well, I gave him some praise. Recently, he's been looking very good, and I think that's one of the things I always look for, to face opponents that they'll give him a good challenge. He has a good momentum on his side. I have a good momentum on my side, and I think whenever you're a tough fighter and have momentum on your side, that makes the match way harder. And just props to him to take the challenge. Before too, he didn't have to take the challenge, but I think now we're kind of in a different stage of our careers. We're both black belts. He has built his history in jiu-jitsu so far. He's very well known. So is myself, and I think it's just a good clash of just two big guys that want to go after.
What do you think the fans can expect from this match?
Well, the expectation would be two big dudes, highly skilled, that go for the win, that go hard. I don't really like to predict what's going to happen, but I'm just going to give my best. I believe he will too. And yeah, just bang.
Same question for you, Nicky Rod. What can the fans expect from this one?
Like he said, bang, bang indeed. We're going to go out there and we're going to bang in front of everybody.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up there. We got to hurry up and get to the event so we can let these boys bang. It's going to be a good one. We're going to see Nicky Rod, Victor Hugo. Make sure you guys tune in. We got 10 total matches, 2 title belts on the line. 4 of them are free on the FloGrappling YouTube, and the rest you can watch on FloGrappling.com. It's going down February 9th, 6 p.m. We'll see you guys there. Thanks, guys.